This is a medical doctor. And I like this one because this doctor was so funny. We were doing a conference and he came over and he said, my brain's only a 1. This guy was functioning. He was very intelligent. And when we were here in India, we were here in November, we measured at least 30 billionaires, and every one of their brains are like this. What do? They exchange their life energy for their life. Your job is not supposed to be your life. Your job is supposed to provide you a life. If it's not providing you a life, then you are actually a slave to it. And I'm going to show you my brain scan so you know what I'm talking about. And I do a lot. And when I flew in here yesterday, it was so funny because we got in at 3:30 last night. And when I got in, I scanned myself. She goes, what are you doing? I said, I want to do a neural check. See what my brain's doing. And it was really good. I go, I can't believe that. We just traveled 27 hours. But guess what? I take care of myself. I do everything I'm telling you to do. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't believe it worked. Every day, when somebody says, oh, I don't have enough time to meditate, when no one's saying, so we don't do it every day. I love it when they ask the Dalai Lama, I'm too busy to meditate. He said, well, then you should do it twice a day. So think about it. You have to make time for yourself. You know, on the airplane, you're taking off, they go, if the plane goes down, you put the mask on yourself first. Then you help everybody else. If you're helping everybody else first, guess what? You won't have the energy to put your mask on. And the nice thing about your brain, it's never too late. Your brain can be healed at any age. We've done studies on people over 90 years old, and in 6 weeks, you improve their brain score by 19%. Your brain is designed to heal just like the rest of your body. Your brain, like your liver, can even regenerate itself. Neurogenesis. So don't ever give up. Don't let anyone tell you it can't, because I've seen it too many times. So this doctor comes in, he's got one, his brain's at 61% delta. Delta's a sleep state. You know what this guy does all day? He works his tail off, probably does a lot of service for his community. It's like pulling a parachute all day long. He gets home, might even pour himself a drink because he deserves it. He doesn't know that that's like throwing gasoline on the fire. He sits on the couch and passes out. And I say, then he wakes up and has dinner. His wife takes care of him, then he walks back out to the living room, passes out again. He stumbles to bed, wakes up, and rinses and repeats every day. Pretty soon he's not going to be able to rinse and repeat. He will have zero energy because he didn't take care of himself. That brain shows me that he's got a lot of inflammation in his body. And you can't paint a house while it's on fire. How do you bring down inflammation? Sure, you can do all the things. There are supplements you can take, there's medicines you can take, all of these things. But the reality is the best way to take down that inflammation is slow down. Relax. Breathe. Your body knows exactly what to do, but it can't do it while you're running a race. You have to slow down, take your time. Now, when we show you why BrainTap is important and why people use it, you don't have to do anything. We say, let it happen. The word let means in no way help or hinder the process. You just press the button. I say, press play to change. All you do is play, move, out. The process does it for you because it's not your conscious mind. Guess what? If your conscious mind was going to help you, you wouldn't be here sitting and talking to me. Your conscious mind has very little to do with anything. It only runs 5% of your life. 95% is controlled by your other than conscious. That's super conscious part of yourself. You are super conscious. How do you know how to beat your heart 86,000 times a day? How do you know how to take 20,000 reps a day? How do you know how to blink 21,000 times a day? How do you know how to interpret sound waves into words? How do you know how to sit up straight without falling down? Without even thinking about it? You're doing trillions of things right now without even a conscious thought. Your conscious mind is riding a bike. In fact, it's not even riding a bike, it's holding on to one piece of steering wheel. Your conscious mind is along for the ride. But most people try to change that conscious mind. It's not your conscious mind that needs to be changed. It's your harmony mind, your harmonic mind. When you're in harmonics with your environment, when you're in harmony with your who and what you are, and what you want to accomplish, your subconscious comes up and gives you all the skills, resources, and abilities you need. That's why in every book ever written about self-help, they say don't think about how you're going to get the result. You think about the end result, and that end result happens. So what happens? We do the BrainTap session. He fails 1,000 times. He gets 1,000 times more energy. Not just 100, 1,000 times more energy. He comes over to me and he says, do I have to do that every day? And I said, have you ever given a pill to somebody and said you got to take this the rest of your life? Which is a lie. No pill was designed to take the rest of your life. A pill is not a skill. You need a pill and a skill. We've proven this with opioids in Brazil. Opioids were designed and registered for only 4 weeks of use. 4 weeks. That's what the study says. But people get on opioids and stay on them forever because they never get the skill, which is in the brain, not in the body. In our study, what we showed is if they did BrainTap at the same time they had surgery, the people that were on the BrainTap at 4 weeks, guess what? They could put down the opioids. They didn't need them anymore because their brain learned the skill. Now, the opioids they needed because they were in pain. They just had surgery and they were in a lot of pain. They don't need them the rest of their life. But if you don't, guess what? The brain goes, well, that was pretty easy. You mimic opioid receptors by own brain's natural ability. When I was a young man at 19 years old, I had a dislocated shoulder. My dad said, you can have surgery with anesthetic or you can do it without. I said, I want to do it without it. So he performed surgery, not my dad, the doctor did. No anesthetic. They come up with my arm. They took a piece of my bone from here, put it over here with a screw in it. I don't remember any of it because he hypnotized me. I had no concept of it happening. I've helped hundreds of people do that since. Because I can't do the anesthetic. When I had my tonsils out, I stayed in a state of unknownness for about 4 days. They didn't know if I was ever going to come back. And people die a lot of times under anesthesia. Now, what we know is if you can relax yourself, become more, that's why they have to have anesthesiologists there because they don't know how much anesthetic you need. They give you too much, you're going to die. They give you too little, you're going to feel pain. So they got to be there monitoring you all the time. It has to do with your brain waves. If you're in a high beta state of stress and anxiety, your body can fight that gas. So what happened the second time you guys? 21. This is all in one day. Look at the time. 12:54, 13:20, 13:52. Guess what? He's got 2,100 times more energy than he had before. And the funniest thing was, he still said, he's shaking his head, he goes, but I have to do this the rest of my life? I said, no, you won't have much life left. You can keep doing what you're doing, and you can retire and expire. Because most people, when they retire, what happens to them? They don't even live 5 years. Because they don't have the energy, the drive, the motivation to stay alive. At any age, you can change your brain. Now, this is the most important part that I show to our doctors in America. Because in 1994, and I'm one of these guys I studied with a guy named Yogi Bhajan. You might know him. He brought Kundalini Yoga to America.